Alright, next up we have Juri. As usual, I will do all 10 trials. When it's just a basic combo, I'm just going to do it. And when it looks like it needs a little explanation, I'll give you my tips. Then I'll cut to where I complete the challenge. Alright, so for Juri, number 4, you get introduced to one of the new special moves that she has. If you notice in the bottom left, right next to her V-skill meter, there's a little gray spot. So if I hit fireball motion with kick, she gets a little move that gets stored down there. You can see it right below her. And if I do the heavy version, I'll get that move. So now you can call on those moves whenever you're ready by doing the same motion again. So if I do heavy kick, the fireball motion, that comes out, and then the medium, that comes out. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You store the moves, you're going to jump, hit him out of the air, and when he lands, you're going to want to connect with the heavy fireball kick into the medium. You just do one after another. So you can kind of do that before he lands too, if you time it just right. Oh, I didn't do that correctly. So with both of them stored, let's see. There you go. So you kind of have to buffer it in there before the move comes out for the heavy version. With the medium kick version, and it'll come out, it'll follow as a complete combo. And that's all there is to that one. Once you know how to do that, then it makes sense once you start charging and releasing the moves one after another. And one last thing, when you're going to jump and do the medium punch, you want to get him at his highest point so you can kind of lift him up a little bit to give you enough timing like this. If you do it too low, you won't be able to juggle it. Alright, so for number 7, what you need to do here is a little tricky, but it's not that bad. When you do the EX kicks like that, he's going to pop up. Of course, you want to hit V trigger as soon as you land. And then from there, you're going to jump up, or at least hold up, and you want to hit light and medium punch early, and then hesitate and wait to hit the jumping heavy punch near the end. This way to pop them back up. Then all you got to do is land with this. So let's start off with the first part. So we'll start from the very beginning. V trigger, 1, 2, 3. Then you're gonna land. Then you can just throw out the EX legs, this right here, and that's all you need to do. But the trick is to get the light punch pretty early, and the medium punch can be fast too, just right after. But then just wait, get the heavy punch on your way down, and that should keep them in the air. Alright, so number 8 isn't too bad. You can break this up in 2 different parts if you want to practice it that way. So what you want to do is you want to start off with charging the medium kick special. And then you're going to do the first part. So it's this jumping heavy kick, standing heavy punch, release the medium special, but then you have to combo into the medium. So get the first part at least. Okay, so I even threw in the medium punch. So from the medium punch, it's not too bad. So all you gotta do is this, V trigger, but you gotta be able to do the last move, this EX little sweep. You gotta do that really soon, and usually what happens is you wait too long and it doesn't land. But it's really not that hard. You can practice that a few times before you give the whole combo around. So the second half of this, you can give this a couple of tries before you try the whole thing. There you go. So if you get that second part, you did the first part. Now you just got to put it all together. It's pretty simple as long as you remember to just store the medium before you start the combo. Alright, so for number 9, it's a little bit tricky, but the one thing you need to understand is that when you use V trigger, you don't have to store your moves. So this is storing, and then you execute the moves like this. When you're in V trigger, you get to do the moves as much as you want. So just keep that in mind in case you're getting confused. You shouldn't, because you can watch the demonstration, but that's just the thing that you'll realize is that you're not storing anything. V-trigger allows you to just do the moves right away. So with that said, let's start from the first part. So here's the next thing. If you're gonna do this combo in the middle of the screen, which is what they show, you're gonna have to do a counter dash into medium punch. Something I really can't do well at all. So let's see if I can do it this, like that. Super hard. You gotta dash. I get it about half the time or even worse. But if you're still having trouble doing the dash into this combo, you can do this in the corner, and all you need to do, instead of dashing, you can just walk forward a little bit, and you'll be able to catch them. You can't do it without it, like this. She'll never connect, but if you walk forward just a little bit, you can connect and do the combo that way. So it's up to you. I know when you do V-trigger, you have to wait till all the moves come out. Sometimes you can find a way to spend V-trigger so you can get back into it. But otherwise, if you reset, depending on however you got your settings, for me, it resets in the middle of the screen. So it's just kind of a pain to have to reset and walk to the corner. So you choose which way you want and go with it. Everything else still applies up to that point. So from the V-trigger, after you connect and you're going to V-trigger that, obviously, you're going to need to do a crouching medium kick heavy punch. It's actually more like a chain combo, so like this. What that'll do is it'll pop them up in the air, and then you can do the last two moves like this. Just like that. There's not really strict with timing or anything. You can practice it on its own. I was a little late with the medium, but you get the idea. We can try that one more time. There you go. And so that part's actually pretty easy. But if you're having trouble, it's probably because you're not connecting the medium. So there's two different ways you can go about it. You can try to do the dash from the middle of the screen, or you can get them in the corner and just do a little walk forward. You can even hold forward. In this case, I know some characters, if you hold forward and medium punch, you get a different version of the medium punch, so it will ruin the combo. But in this case, it's not. So choose what you want, put it all together, and number 9 isn't that bad at all. Alright, we are number 10 already with Juri. Hopefully you're enjoying the video up to this point. If you are, please leave me a comment. I love comments. Give me a like, and I will keep this moving along. Alright, so for this last one, there's a lot going on here, but it isn't too bad. You can actually practice this all the way up into a V-trigger and try to land a heavy punch. That's what I'm going to do. So that's the first 7. So what you need to know is that you have to store the medium and the heavy, and when you do this combo in the corner, in order to connect after the counter, which is this, you have to walk forward just a little bit. You won't be able to do it if you don't walk forward. It doesn't have to be much, it just has to be a pixel or two and you're good to go. As long as you can do that a couple times, you should be good to go. So then from there, what you're going to be doing is comboing this part right here. So when your heavy kick comes out, your heavy special, you have to V-trigger the first hit. So that'll prevent him from flying into the air. So you might be able to practice that on its own. Store it, then we'll do a hit. There. So now we have where we connected a heavy punch. Now the last 3 isn't really that bad. The only thing is it's hard to practice that on its own because you're not going to have the right juggle state. So once you can get to that heavy punch, then you can kind of practice this here. Instead of keeping him in a juggle state. And then you got a DP out of that. So the hard part about this is you're going to need to be able to DP from this move here. Oh. From this move here. So forward, down, forward, and then 2 quarter circle backs. And you can practice it on its own. Oops. Do that a few times. It doesn't matter what kick button you use for the super, but I tend to use light because I'm already hitting the button. And once you can do that, then it's just a matter of comboing everything else together. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work when you try to do the last part on its own. So just know what to do, practice the DP into super, and then go through the whole combo, and you should be able to get this one. It's really not that bad. Alright, that's going to do it for Juri's Trials. Hopefully you managed to get through some of those with me. If you like this content, you better let me know in the comments and hit that like button, and I will see you next time. Thank you.